Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Friday, November 20th. A much cooler morning here in the Mid-Atlantic region compared to the past couple of mornings. Indeed, a soaking rain event on Thursday has ushered in a pattern change, and the next several days will be at or below normal here in the I-95 corridor. Probably the coldest day of the next several days will occur on Monday. The coldest air mass since last April will move into the I-95 corridor on Sunday and Monday. And on Monday, high temperatures will struggle to reach the 45-degree mark in much of the I-95 corridor, probably holding to between 40 and about 43 degrees or so up and down from the I-95 corridor from D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City. So again, quite a difference from the past couple of days. Today will be certainly noticeably cooler, but even colder air will arrive for Sunday and especially on Monday. It does moderate slowly by the middle of next week, and by Thanksgiving Day on Thursday it'll probably turn out to be milder than normal with high temperatures well up in the 50s. That milder weather will continue on Friday and probably into the following weekend before more cold air arrives in the eastern U.S. at the end of November or the very first part of the new month of December. Well, before we get to the local weather conditions, I thought I'd just show here a map of the snow cover across much of Asia. This is an important factor in our winter outlook for a snowy winter here in the Mid-Atlantic region. What we're seeing is snow cover indicated by the whites here throughout Siberia and down across Mongolia. This is Mongolia down in here and in northeastern China. And in fact, the next couple of days we'll see not one but two snowstorms way down here in the Beijing, China. Could very well get substantial snow over the next several days, a couple different snowstorms. So certainly an impressive snowpack here on the other side of the North Pole. Take a look at our winter outlook. We talk about how that is an important cold air source for the northeastern part of the U.S. and we'll be continuing to monitor the snowpack there over the next few weeks. Well, let's get back closer to home. Here's the U.S. surface map for this morning. A strong cold front has now reached the eastern seaboard. Clearing skies set up here in the I-95 corridor late last night, early this morning. Temperatures actually dropped quite a bit, probably between about 4 a.m. and 6 or 7 a.m. in much of the I-95 corridor. And they'll at best hold steady over the next few hours, struggling to reach the low to mid 50s for highs this afternoon. Again, a colder air mass pushing into the I-95 corridor, certainly colder than the last couple of days. It'll probably shed a few more degrees on Saturday before the arrival of the coldest air since last April for Sunday and Monday. Meanwhile, out in the western states, low pressure is starting to get organized out across the Rockies. That will spread some heavy snow across Iowa and then right into the upper Midwest. This area right in here from, let's say, Madison across Chicago to Detroit, right in here will get their first major snowstorm of the season. In fact, it's possible Chicago could end up with the biggest November snowstorm in its history. 6 to 12 inches possible in Chicago. Again, a significant snowstorm for the upper part of the Midwest during the upcoming weekend. Before that snow hits the upper Midwest, it'll dump several inches in the Central Plains. Places like Iowa can also receive 6 to 12 inches of snow over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. Well, how big is the change in temperatures from this morning compared to yesterday morning? Here is a map from the Penn State EWAL site. 24-hour temperature change. Just some dramatic drops since yesterday morning compared to this morning. Some 25 degrees out across western Pennsylvania this morning compared to yesterday morning. Again, a much colder air has moved into the I-95 corridor following yesterday's cold frontal passage and soaking rain event. Temperatures this afternoon only reaching the low to mid 50s, holding nearly steady for the next several hours as this colder air moves in right now. Again, we'll shed a few more degrees on Saturday, but the real cold air mass to talk about arrives on Sunday, and by Monday high temperatures may struggle to pass 40 degrees in much of the I-95 corridor. Well, let's take a look at a few forecast maps. This is using last night's GFS model from NOAA. We'll look at 24-hour increments beginning with this evening, Friday evening, then we'll look at Saturday evening and Sunday evening. Cold high pressure sitting on top of the Mid-Atlantic region by this evening. Temperatures will drop tonight way down into the 30s, perhaps touching the 30-degree mark in some of the suburbs of the big cities along the I-95 corridor. Very chilly day and then a cold night coming on Friday night. Here is the beginning of an upper Midwest snowstorm. By this evening, it'll be spreading snow into Iowa, parts of the Central Plains, southwestern Wisconsin, all the way across to Nebraska, and even Kansas could get in on some snowfall. Heavy snow is likely in the next 12 to 24 hours across Iowa, and then all of that shifts to Madison, Detroit, Milwaukee, and Chicago. And here's the forecast map for Saturday evening. By this time, pretty much a significant snowfall will have occurred in Chicago, for example. This could turn out to be the biggest November snowstorm in their history, recorded history, with 6 to 12 inches possible in and around Chicago. Again, accumulating snow in Madison, Milwaukee, all the way to Detroit. Upper Midwest faces its first significant snowstorm of the season. Cold front ahead of this storm right here. The secondary cold front pushes through by Sunday morning here in the I-95 corridor, and that ushers in the coldest air since last April into the Mid-Atlantic region for Sunday and especially on Monday. And finally, here's the forecast map for Sunday evening. By this time, the cold air has arrived. We'll have highs only in the 40s on Sunday and closer to 40 degrees for highs on Monday. There'll be a stiff wind on Sunday as well. Northwest wind will make it feel even colder than the actual air temperature. It stays quite chilly on Tuesday and Wednesday, but then moderation certainly will occur by Thanksgiving Day, Thursday. High temperatures probably above normal, way up in the 50s next Thursday, and that milder weather probably continues Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday in the weekend following Thanksgiving Day before another cold shot arrives in the eastern U.S. On the end of the month of November, that Monday, November 30th, or right around there, perhaps December 1st, somewhere in that time frame. Looks like another significant cold shot arrives in the eastern U.S. So quite a change in temperatures for the next several days. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.